Joseph R. Biden Jr. Raised in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and New Castle County, Delaware, Biden studied at the University of Delaware before earning his law degree from Syracuse University in 1968. He was elected a New Castle County councilor in 1970, and became the sixth youngest senator in American history when he was elected to the U.S. Senate from Delaware in 1972, at the age of 29. Biden was a longtime member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and eventually its chairman. He opposed the Gulf War in 1991, but supported expanding the NATO alliance into Eastern Europe in its intervention in the Yugoslav wars of the 1990s. He supported the resolution authorizing the Iraq War in 2002, but opposed the surge of U.S. troops in 2007. He also chaired the Senate Judiciary Committee from 1987 to 1995, dealing with drug policy, crime prevention, and civil liberties issues. He led the effort to pass the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act and the Violence Against Women Act, and oversaw 6 U.S. Supreme Court confirmation hearings, including the contentious hearings for Robert Bork and Clarence Thomas. He ran unsuccessfully for the Democratic presidential nomination in 1988 and again in 2008. Biden was re-elected to the Senate 6 times, and was the 4th most senior senator when he resigned to serve as Barack Obama's vice president after they won the 2008 presidential election. Obama and Biden were re-elected in 2012. As vice president, Biden oversaw infrastructure spending in 2009 to counteract the Great Recession. His negotiations with congressional Republicans helped pass legislation including the 2010 Tax Relief Act, which resolved a taxation deadlock, the Budget Control Act of 2011, which resolved a debt ceiling crisis, and the American Taxpayer Relief Act of 2012, which addressed the impending fiscal cliff. He also led efforts to pass the United States-Russia New START Treaty, supported military intervention in Libya, and helped formulate U.S. policy toward Iraq through the withdrawal of U.S. troops in 2011. Following the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, he led the Gun Violence Task Force. In January 2017, Obama awarded Biden the Presidential Medal of Freedom with distinction. In April 2019, Biden announced his candidacy in the 2020 presidential election, and he reached the delegate threshold needed to secure the Democratic nomination in June 2020. On August 11, he announced U.S. Senator Kamala Harris of California as his running mate. Biden won the 2020 presidential election of November 3 against President Trump. Thus, he is only the second non-incumbent vice president to become president-elect of the United States, and the first since Richard Nixon. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris address Americans. President-elect Joe Biden delivered a celebratory message but also a message of healing for the nation in his first remarks Saturday following a bitter and divisive battle for the presidency. America has always been shaped by inflection points, by moments in time we've made hard decisions about who we are, what we want to be, Biden said at the Chase Center in Wilmington, Delaware, where the horns from hundreds of cars and cheers could be heard between his words. Folks, we stand at an inflection point. Biden's remarks came as President Donald Trump continues to contest the results of the cliffhanger election, arguing without evidence that hundreds of thousands of votes are in question. His address, in addition to setting the tone for a Biden transition and presidency, were a symbol that the Democrat was working to move the nation past the contentious election. The former vice president sought to drive that message home from the very beginning of his remarks, saying voters had delivered a clear victory, a convincing victory. Folks, the people of this nation have spoken, he said. Joe Biden delivers victory speech after elected 46th President of the United States. Reciting one of his slogans from the campaign trail, Biden said he ran for president for all Americans, not just Democrats. For all those of you who voted for President Trump, I understand the disappointment, Biden said. I've lost a couple of times myself. But now let's give each other a chance. It's time to put away the harsh rhetoric, lower the temperature, see each other again, listen to each other again. Biden was introduced by Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, wearing all white in nod to the suffragist movement. The first woman vice president, Harris said she wouldn't be the last. Every little girl that's watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities, she said. We congratulate the Biden-Harris administration on an historic victory. We look forward to seeing the country and the world come together to make everything great again. And build back better.